Hello, my dear people. The fire has been lit, and there is no stopping it now. What we are living through right now is an intense, burning atmosphere that is shaping our reality. Before we dive in, I want to be completely transparent with you about the format of this channel. I've spent a lot of time reflecting lately. Over the past month, it became increasingly difficult for me to create videos. I felt my interest slipping, and I couldn't immediately pinpoint why. Eventually, I realized that trying to cover every possible topic and appearing on a rigid schedule simply doesn't work for my nature. I deeply value the ability to live in the moment and act on a sincere, raw, internal impulse. Furthermore, I looked at many other creators in this space and mistakenly took it as gospel that I should provide a horoscope for every single zodiac sign at the end of my videos. To be honest, I find that approach to forecasting incredibly superficial. I want to give you information that I truly believe is useful. Providing pop astrology predictions, like telling Aries that the sun is moving through their third house, feels hollow to me. Unless you're looking at your own personal natal chart and calculating transits specifically for your degree, there's very little practical individual benefit. My intention, moving forward, is to provide global high-level forecasts on planetary transits and major cosmic events that impact everyone. I want to talk about the energies arriving, what is fundamentally shifting, and what you need to pay attention to. That is what I needed to tell you before we begin. Regardless, I am so glad you are here. Let's get into the forecast for the remainder of April. We are currently witnessing a powerful stellium in Aries. This is a classic example of an uncontrollable situation. If you look around you right now, what do you see? More importantly, what do you feel? What impulses are rising from your gut? On April 17th, we had a new moon, where half of the entire horoscope was concentrated in the sign of Aries. This new moon didn't just start a new month. It launched a very harsh, sobering process, a collective wake-up call that will fully manifest in everyone's life by the end of April. You might feel like you've accidentally walked into a chaotic school auditorium where children are rehearsing a play. They are screaming, demanding attention, dancing without rhythm, and looking in every direction at once. Yet every single one of them is deriving pure, raw pleasure from the chaos. Since the 17th, an irreversible process of burning away the unnecessary and igniting your true essence has been in motion. I've said it many times. Aries energy is the master right now. It is the force leading us. The world has begun to operate by a completely different set of rules. In this new reality, speed is the highest currency. Overthinking, meticulous planning, and waiting for the perfect moment are relics of the past. The old strategy, sitting down, planning every detail, and then acting, no longer yields results. The universe is testing your courage. Will you act on your impulse immediately, or will you hesitate? Many of you might feel a strange sense of being trapped, as if your only option is to be yourself. And that is the absolute truth. In previous cycles, cosmic energy could still flow into tasks or relationships that weren't truly yours. Now, that channel is being surgically cut off. Think back to what your body has been telling you since mid-April. Have you felt sudden bursts of heat? Unexplained pressure? High-strung nervous tension? These are all Aries-ruled physiological responses. They are physical markers that an authentic impulse is forming deep inside you. However, this energy is dangerous, extremely dangerous. Aries is the infant of the zodiac, and we live in a complex, real world. If your inner child hasn't learned how to direct this raw power, you will break things that cannot be fixed. This reached a peak around April 20th, during a brutal conjunction of Saturn, Mars, and Mercury in Aries. This energy is militant, rigid, and uncompromising, yet it possesses incredible momentum. You might have felt a sense of total scramble. You have all this fire, but you have no idea where to point the hose. This is why physical action is non-negotiable right now. You must move, run, dance, speak, film. Do not sit still with this energy, or it will turn into internal aggression or physical illness. April 20th was like a concrete wall you were forced to drive through. Imagine a massive traffic jam in a metropolis where everyone is stuck, honking and losing their minds. This energy breeds irritation and a feeling that you must go to war just to get a basic result. But there is a purpose to this friction. It destroys illusions. Everything you believed in, every false pillar you leaned on, is starting to crumble. Old traumas, deep-seated beliefs, and hidden addictions are all being dragged into the light. Mars and Saturn are acting like a cold shower on the Aries fire, forcing you to pull yourself together and get serious. The best thing you can do right now? Take absolute responsibility. If a situation isn't working, stop waiting for a miracle and fix it yourself. This applies to your career, your business, and your private life. If you are waiting for someone else to hand you a result, you will likely be left with nothing. The task of the moment is self-reliance. If you have a habit of sacrificing yourself, working for free, or pouring your energy into people who don't reciprocate, this period will be agonizing. A total zeroing out of your old social contracts is underway. The most important rule: do not waste energy blaming others. The crisis that hit you around the 20th was designed specifically so you would take the reins and do it differently. This was a portal for you to download the knowledge of exactly how you need to proceed. Again, do not engage in petty conflicts and stay away from physically dangerous situations. This Mars-Saturn-Mercury alignment is about the breakthrough of boundaries. Imagine a dog that has been tied up for years. By the 20th, it finally learned how to chew through the leather. It has broken free. It is full of adrenaline, and its first instinct might be to bite. However, when these portals open, everyone feels the shift. If you are involved in a conflict where you're objectively in the right, perhaps you can't get a specific document, or you're facing an unfair decision, the window of April 20th to 22nd is your time to strike. Write the appeal, file the petition, make the public statement. Willful, righteous action is amplified tenfold right now. If you are acting from a place of truth, you have the power to move mountains. But be warned, if you choose to tear down the walls now, the consequences are permanent. This isn't a short-term tantrum. It's a structural shift. This stellium is a collective kick from the universe. You will notice how rapidly your external reality reflects your internal state. If you hold a thought of conflict, the conflict appears at your door within hours. This is the primary law of the current time. Manifestation is nearly instantaneous. If your life feels like it's going wrong, you need to change your internal script immediately. Moving further into the astrology, the conjunction of Mercury, Mars, and Saturn can also create severe bottlenecks in communication. Expect technical glitches, data loss, and logistics failures. If you work in tech or shipping, be ready for everything to go sideways. Someone might arrive way too early, or way too late, or not at all. But more importantly, this alignment demands the truth. This is a time where you must use your voice. If you suppress your expression, if a singer stops singing or an artist stops creating, the body will pay the price. We are seeing cases of severe throat issues or total exhaustion in people who are blocking their flow. The Aries fire inside you must be vented through action, or it will burn you from the inside out. Since the new moon on the 17th, A pillar of fire has been ignited in every human being. Output is the only way to avoid burnout. On April 20th, the sun finally moved into Taurus. You will start to feel the energy lose some of its jagged edges. It's not a total calm, but the focus shifts toward the material world. It's no longer just about running. It's about what you are building. Sun in Taurus brings an opportunity to cultivate stability, beauty, and comfort. It's a time for the simple, grounded joys, nature, good food, tactile experiences. You might find yourself wanting to beautify your space or invest in your well-being. However, for some, particularly Taurus placements, the end of the month brings a final shock therapy session. On April 25th, the Sun squares Pluto. This manifests as a deep, buzzing anxiety, a sense of insecurity or a fear that your comfort is about to be snatched away. Taurus desperately wants to hold on, while Pluto demands that you let go and transform. The final portal of the month occurs between April 24th to 26th. As you know, Uranus is transitioning into Gemini for an 8-year stay. We are feeling the turbulence of this shift. 2025 has been a year of letting go, because it was impossible to find a stable anchor while the foundations of the zodiac were shifting. On the 24th, Venus joins Uranus. This isn't a conflict. It's a lightning strike. It brings the totally unexpected, a sudden tech failure, a surprise announcement, or a sudden change in finances. This is the zeroing out of your attachments. This specific aspect won't happen in Taurus again for another 80 years. It is a once-in-a-lifetime clearing of the decks. On the 26th, Uranus officially crosses the threshold into Gemini. To put it simply, do not fear the breakdown. If you have been clinging to a job, a habit, or a relationship that you don't even like anymore, the universe will step in and remove it for you. Do not resist. Let it go. The energy of Venus and Uranus is about radical detachment. If your computer crashes or a long-standing situationship abruptly ends, take it as a sign that those things were no longer serving your new path. This is the culmination of the Taurus era, the sign of holding on. If you are clinging to the past, the goodbye will be painful. By the 26th, the feeling of liberation will be palpable. Uranus in Gemini is about speed, data, and the future. We are entering an 8-year cycle, defined by AI and rapid technological evolution. We are in the storm right now because we are at the crossroads. Many things we used to slave over will soon be handled by machines. If you feel like you can't get your footing, it means you are still trying to carry too much baggage from the old world. Drop it. Stop trying to control the outcome. This coming week is a sobering final climax before the doors swing open. Before the total liberation on the 26th, let everything go. Empty your hands so you can grab the new energy. Thank you for being with me. May this energy guide you to where you truly want to be. See you soon.